Hey everybody, this is Harrison with Level 1 Gaming giving you some impressions about Morbid Lords of Ire. Right off the bat, I can tell you to not enjoy my time with this game, sadly. And I really hate being negative about games because it's people's lives' works and there's so much love that goes into them, and just outright complaining gets us nowhere. But here, all I can offer is my personal experience with the game. So Morbid is a Soulslike, and it seems to mostly only be that, to try to be that in name only without understanding much of the design that goes into the greats of that genre, which makes those feel so satisfying or fun to play. The game here is incredibly janky, and combat just feels bad to play. There's almost no heft or weight behind some of your attacks, and when you hit the enemies, they don't respond half the time, and even when you get hit, your character sometimes doesn't respond. And besides that, your character is just very floaty to control overall. So to start with, in the intro area, you fight some enemies that just kind of set the tone for how not fun some of the enemies are to fight. They have so much health, even though they're the first thing you encounter, and you have so little stamina that you can only swing your sword pretty much 3 times before you're out of stamina. These encounters at the very beginning are very odd in terms of an intro area in games, to the point that balance almost seems non-existent, and I would be very curious to see the playtest sessions that occurred for this intro area. Because you know what the best strategy is for this intro area? Just run. Run past every single enemy, because the encounters are such a slog with so many enemies that have such high damage sponges that you're better off just running past encounters once you beat them. Because if you die, you don't lose your experience here, you only lose the multiplier. So every time you beat an enemy, your XP multiplier goes up, and that's the only thing that you lose when you die. Now for the biggest reason that I cannot recommend this game, and why this is more of an impressions video rather than a full review. The technical issues. There are so many. Bad animations, quite a few crashes, and the biggest one, screen tearing. There's nothing wrong with the screen that you're watching this on right now. Phone, computer, didgeridoo, whatever you're watching this on, it's fine. The problem is with the game. I have never seen so much screen tearing in a game before, to the point that it's almost just constant, this blurred line of screwed up pixels going up and down the screen almost constantly throughout the game time. And I'll be completely honest, I did not finish this game. I probably got 4 or 5 hours into it, and I had to stop because it made me motion sick and physically ill to play. I've never been motion sick in a game before. Out of all the FPS, playing Sea of Thieves, bouncing up and down on a boat, piloting fighter crafts in VR, doing all sorts of spins, turns, barrel rolls, completely fine. Don't have a problem. I've never been motion sick in a game before. But this, for whatever reason, those pixels moving up and down, screen tearing, it made me sick. I was completely nauseous and about to vomit after playing this game. And it was such a bad experience because of that, to the point that I can't recommend this game to anybody. But what if they fixed the screen tearing? They could, and I would probably go back and finish the game if I got the screen tearing issue fixed, just to give this game a fair shake. But besides the screen tearing, there are also so many other flaws that I experienced in this game. Like I mentioned earlier, the balance, enemies have way too much health, it's not fun to attack people, the combat is incredibly janky, and the encounters just have way too many enemies in them that are just super damage spongy. And like I said earlier, you're better off just running past all these folks. And that's kind of the wrong thing that you want to happen in a Souls-like game. Sure, in Elden Ring, you might run past some enemies on the ground, but in the Dark Souls games like 1, 2, and 3, you're not going to want to constantly sprint past enemies because you want to build up your XP so you can level up. In this game, like I said, it builds up your multiplier, and your skill points aren't really used to upgrade stats in the way that you think they would. They unlock these cards, which then can in turn give you certain stat bonuses, like an extra chunk of your stamina bar, extra chunk of your health bar, etc. Now let's go over some positives, because like I said, I don't want to be completely negative on this game. So the first one is I really enjoy the art design. The way the characters are designed, the weapons, the enemies, just overall the lore, the houses, the castles and stuff that you go in, I think do look really great and aren't just the stereotypical designs that we've seen in past for other games. I think the art design here really does make it stand apart. Besides that, I do enjoy the XP multiplier mechanic, so that if you die, all that you lose is the multiplier that you build up, not your full XP. I think that is a very unique twist on gameplay. I don't think it was necessarily executed correctly here, because you're better off just sprinting past enemies sometimes. But I do like the idea of it, And if I got further into the game, I would like to see, you know, how much that affects gameplay down the line. So overall, I still can't recommend this game. Even if most of the technical issues were fixed, I still think the gameplay design in itself has quite a few flaws. And again, I hate bashing on games, and that's why I didn't think I was very qualified to give a full review of this game, because I did not finish it. And I'm not sure how far I actually got into it, but that's why this is more of an impressions for everybody. And just letting you know my experience I had with the game, and that's all I can offer. So I plan on revisiting this if the screen tearing and other stuff gets fixed. And at that point, I will come back with a full review. So if I had to score this right now, I'd give it a solid 5 out of 10 due to everything we talked about. I will mention that I'm reviewing this on an Xbox Series X, so if you play this on PC or another platform, you might not have these issues. But until I get to do a full review, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, all that fun stuff to Level 1 Gaming, and we'll see you next time.